But I wanted to turn our attention to state matters with our good friend, Representative Lee Reeves, who joins us on the Murphy Show this afternoon to talk about his concern about a lack of activity involving our sheriffs across the great state of Tennessee. I don't want to get in front of the parade here, and so we welcome in Representative Reeves to the program. Hey, Lee, how are you?
Hey, Matt, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it as always. I'm in my home office today, but ready to talk about this with you because this is an important thing that we need to tackle in this state.
Well, I agree completely. But I have to ask you the obligatory question. You taking any position on this Elon Trump thing? We're going to let this play out. We're going to let this play out.
We're going to let it play out. I'm a supporter of both. They're obviously going back and forth. They fought before. And I assume they'll get to a point where they figure it out.
Well, let's hope. It is certainly drawing attention to their individual platforms on social media. I'll give them that.
I can tell you this, Matt. I'm not going to grow my hair out until they're done. So, it's just.
I was kind of hoping. I was saving that one till the end. I was kind of hoping you'd go with me on that. Before we talk about this sheriff issue, Lee, I think I know where you are on this deal with Davidson County, and I understand you're down in Williamson, but you've been watching and you've been seeing some of the activity on the part of the mayor and the unfortunate, what he calls a mistake, where they're outing ICE members on Metro government websites. What are your overall thoughts on this and its impact on public safety?
Well, it certainly was a mistake, but I'm not sure it was unintentional. I'll back off of that a little bit, give the mayor the benefit of the doubt, I guess, but it was pretty abysmal. I've been disappointed by what I've seen out of Nashville and, this executive order that got passed. I was with Congressman Ogles and Senator Jack Johnson the other day when there was a press conference and the windows of the Capitol were almost broken in. But I was there to make some comments because this is an important issue, and what we've seen so far out of Metro is disappointing. I had the chance to talk to some of the ICE officers after that press conference, and it brought home for me exactly how big of a problem this is in Nashville. And of course, being down in Williamson, we're just one county south. And, the crime and the problems that result from this really do bleed over into all the surrounding counties. So we all have an interest in getting this right.
So with that in mind, I mean, there are programs in place that give the state of Tennessee and our local municipalities and the officers, the peace officers that we empower in those municipalities, ways to work with the federal government. Walk us through what those are.
Yeah, I appreciate that question. And this is something that I have been really talking about for the last week because while investigations are ongoing into the mayor of Nashville, we're going to let those take place. But in the meantime, there is a federal program with ICE called the 287G program. And this allows law enforcement to enter into agreements with ICE to help in various ways. Now, there's three parts to that program. But law enforcement doesn't have to do all three parts. There's the task force model, which is arresting people on the streets. There's the jail enforcement model, which is a 4-week training program. You fly into Virginia, you do that training program, and then you coordinate with the federal government. But there's a very simple one called the Warrant Service Officer program. And that's the one I'm really focused on here. 67 of 67 counties or sheriffs in Florida have entered into at least that program. And we've only got 10 out of our 95 counties here in Tennessee. And it's an 8-hour training. It allows immigration warrants to be served inside of the jail system instead of releasing somebody into a neighborhood and then trying to do an arrest. It's an important and I think easy and inexpensive way for our local sheriffs across the state to serve these warrants and keep dangerous and risky people off the street.
So why is it? I mean, is there an unawareness of this? You mentioned that. I mean, how many municipalities? Let's talk about the sheriffs. I think that you were focused on that, and I saw your X post from, I guess, yesterday. So how many sheriffs are currently taking advantage of the 287G?
Well, so only 10 out of our 95
10
sheriffs,
Okay.
but we just had 2 sign up this week, just 2 days ago. So I think people are getting caught up on this. They're understanding that this is an option. This program has been around for a number of years, but essentially it was shelved during the Biden administration. So I think people are just becoming aware of it again, and that's why I'm out front trying to educate folks that this is available. And if you don't have this in your county, and by the way, none of the counties around Nashville have this yet. So I'm trying to get Davidson and Williamson and Rutherford and Wilson to all sign up, because this is so important to identify the folks in their county jails.
What's and I know it's where the rubber meets the road, and I want to talk to you about that in a minute. But I'm curious. I mean, because you're in Williamson County, have you yet had an opportunity to speak to any official within the sheriff's department, and what do they tell you is, if anything, the holdup?
I have. And so I've talked to Sheriff Hughes just today, actually, a couple times today. And I know this is something he is looking at. One of his major concerns is, what does it require and what are the financial resources that it requires? The warrant service officer 287G program, my understanding, doesn't require much. And that's why I'm pushing on that so hard. I've also talked to the Tennessee Sheriff's Association today multiple times. And I'm urging them to get out in front of this and get sheriffs across the state signed up for this program as well. And I know that they're looking at doing that.
And I guess maybe it is an awareness issue, or perhaps there was a general belief that, and I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt, not to certain communities. I mean, I can kind of understand why the more populated, quote unquote, blue dots in Tennessee might be loath to do this, but yeah, I'm genuinely, interested, because this is where the rubber meets the road, right? I mean, when we talk about giving local authorities the ability to better monitor the activity of illegal aliens in their community and do something about it, well, they don't have the individual authority to actually facilitate, the removal. But this gives them the connective tissue where they can communicate with Immigration and Customs Enforcement and those federal officials that do. So this is the linchpin in it all, to me.
It is to me, too. And, look, like I said, there is a task force model that actually lets them coordinate with ICE in traffic stops and other things. But I'm just talking about, these are folks already in the prisons, in the jail system. Right. It's not even, these aren't even on the street. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. So let's figure out who they are and get them off the street and keep them off the street.
So I had a super texter that have asked because several, as a matter of fact. Do you, off the top of your head, Lee, or do you have it in front of you, like which 10? Because people are curious. I mean, and this is, I think, people want to applaud those that have actually signed up for this. Do you know off the top of your head? Could you list which 10? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it in front of me. So I know Grundy County is exploring getting that done. It's pending, it says. And let's see, Macon County just signed up this week. Bradley County just signed up this week. You've got Sullivan, Sumner, Giles, Hamilton, and Putnam counties, and then Greene and Knox County had signed up back in 2020 for the jail enforcement model of this. And I'd like our listeners out there to confirm with their sheriffs that those programs are still active.
So what does it take if we've got anybody that has connection with sheriff's departments? I mean, our footprint is pretty large in Middle Tennessee at very least, and on social media platforms and podcasts, we even go beyond that. So, what is the process, Lee? I mean, if there's anybody that knows a sheriff or anybody that is a sheriff or sheriff's deputy, what do they have to do?
Well, I get in touch with ICE. We've got resources with ICE. I think every sheriff, certainly, if they don't know how to get in touch with ICE, I'm happy to put them in touch with ICE. The tools exist. The law allows this. The training is relatively simple. It's an 8-hour training online for a warrant service officer. The sheriffs just need to take that next step and sign a memorandum of understanding with ICE and get going on it.
Well, I appreciate your work on this because this is the real deal, right? We talk about it a lot. Hey, do our local officials have the ability to deal with these folks that they might find in their communities that are lawbreakers, criminals, even beyond the criminal activity of coming across the southern border? This is where it happens. Thank you for drawing the attention to it. I wanted to highlight it on the show, Lee. And if there are any updates in any aspect of this, please come back on the show and let us know.
I absolutely will. Thank you.